Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 160 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channels. It is the Pride of America Bushido 21 card. Maia versus John Alessio for the welterweight title is our main event. And honestly, the card, top to bottom, the main card, is a card that I'm super excited to see. There's a lot of fun matches on that card, and also somebody filling in for an injury on about 2 weeks' notice. So that should be exciting to see how that fight plays out. We'll talk about that obviously once we get to the mail. As it's crazy to think this is the last American Bushido card of the series. Hard to believe. Leave the memories alone. But yeah, this should be a fun card. I really do think that in the main event might be hit and miss, but usually Damian Maia brings it. Usually John Alessio can bring it. I think stylistically they match up well, and this should be a fun main event. But yeah, as far as it's crazy to think, we just have these three shows, and then these two shows, and then the last show being Shockwave 2010. Hard to believe. We are just counting it down. Hard to believe that we are almost down to just one hand, the amount of shows we have left. But as far as the pieces of mail, 17 pieces to go through. We've signed TJ Grant. For those who are wanting to continue this wave, you'll have TJ Grant to use. He's going to be 6-0. You could probably send him down to Rings or Elite XC. We're just going to keep on the main roster for now. Extended Chris Cyborg, Ana Michelle Tavares, Gabriel Gonzaga, the new middleweight champion of Mauricio Shogun Hua, Amy Fucino, of course, who's going to be getting a title fight sooner rather than later in that women's division. Toby Imada, Talise as well got extended. So Chuck Liddell was the person who is injured as he has a swollen calf muscle. This was about 2 weeks before the fight was supposed to take place, and Fabio Maldonado will be taking his spot. Quite the replacement, as far as Ron Fairclough beat him before, and that's why, as far as Fabio Maldonado wants to take this fight, he beat him 2 years ago, 2008. But this is that should be a major fight though. That's definitely a big time middleweight fight, and that's not even the co-main. I think that's like the that might be actually be the co-main now. We might have bumped that up, but yeah, that's gonna be a fun fight though. But that tough break for Chuck Liddell. Would have loved to see Chuck get a fight to end out the series, but it is what it is. We might be able to put him on the Shockwave card. Who knows? Yoko Takahashi got extended. Sean Pearson got extended. So did Alexander Gustafsson. Anderson Silva's left Who's Valley 2, though. That's interesting. As Shayna Baszler left Mid-American Martial Arts and joined the Lions Den. That rules. The fucking Lioness. Shayna Baszler. Kyoko Takayashi. Oh my god, I can. Takabayashi. There we go. I always fuck that up. She gets extended. And then Sofia Bagodari has also been extended, who has been in Smack Girl as of late. She just beat Allison Daly. Jesus Christ. I can never get her name right as well. She lost to Gina Carano in her debut. She's 2-1 in Smack Girl ever since going back down there. She's 3-2 as a whole in Smack Girl. She's beaten, I wouldn't say big names, so she's beaten some names. As far as definitely she's fought tougher opponents for Gina Carano and Valerie as well. But that's going to be interesting. We'll see how she does as far as if she's able to get a prelim fight before the end of the series. I don't think she will, because that Dowling fight was relatively soon, so who knows what will happen in the future with her. But yeah, this card, jam-packed, top to bottom. Damian Maia, John Alessio for the middleweight title, or for the welterweight title. Is Ron Fairclough, Fabio Maldonado in the middleweight division. That is the co-main event. Big time fight there. Luke Como versus George St. Pierre. George looking to bounce back, get a major win over Luke Como and potentially eye a chance to take on either Damian Maia or John Alessio in the future. Clay Guida versus Joe Stevenson in a lightweight contest. That's a fun-ass fight. Pete Williams and Fedor in the heavyweight contest, and right before then the opener, a fight that is going to rule. Seth Petrozelli versus Simi Shalette. Holy shit. Seth Petrozelli's incredible in this mod. Obviously, Simi Shalette, Hightower Simi Shalette, K1 legend, and a man who will knock you the fuck out if you want to stand and bang with him. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a quite the kickoff to that American Bushido card, as this is happening in New Jersey. As far as there's really no local favorites Is that Pete's from Texas, Petroselli's from Florida, Guida's from, as far as Illinois. I think Fairclough's from like Iowa or something along those lines. Definitely a Midwest guy. I forget where Luke Como's from, and I don't think John Alessio's from New Jersey. He's from British Columbia, I believe. Got 2 Canadians on the card. But maybe the prelims have. Jim and Dan Miller from New Jersey. They're, Sparta, New Jersey? But the brothers on the prelim. That's going to be fun. Joe Hurley and Jim Miller versus Dan Miller and Luke Rockhold as well. Luke Rockhold probably will dominate Dan Miller, but Jim Miller and Joe Hurley should be a pretty fun back and forth prelim contest. As we take a look at the analytics here, is Alessio trying to make his first defense of this welterweight title reign. But if Damian Maia wins this here, he'll start his second reign. They have fought once before, which Damian Maia won by unanimous decision. This was back at Pride 43 last year at March Massacre. So he soon had a, as far as having a victory just a year prior, you'd think Damian Maia would be the favorite, but he's actually not. Blurcast staff picks give it to John Alessio 7-0. Not even one guy backing him. Alessio is higher ranked in the best pound-for-pound rankings. He's 11th. Damian Maia 24th. As this is both fighters fighting in the main event for the 5th time tonight. Alessio's won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision now. This is an interesting one because, Damian Maia, we thought we were going to get a hell of a run after he beat Luis Santos and he beat John Alessio. It's like, all right, he's going to go on a run. Then he loses to George St. Pierre. Pretty crazy. Beats Dan Hardy, though. Gets this title shot here since, John Alessio, he's beaten him in the past. Makes sense to have this title fight for sure. We'll see if he wins it this time around. I know, obviously, George Rush St. Pierre's eyeing this fight, obviously. As far as if he wins tonight, definitely will look to get a title shot against either Damian Maia or John Alessio. But Ron Fairclough taking on Fabio Maldonado. Yes, back in the Pride FC Worldwide 18 taping, the main event, Fairclough won by submission, which I believe Maldonado was undefeated going into that fight, as he has finished 4 of his last 5 opponents. Has Maldonado, 2 of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world as well. Maldonado ranked 5th, Fairclough 19th. As Fabio trains at Damian Maia Jiu-Jitsu, so a teammate as far as in main and co-main. Well, I guess owner and teammate, but Fairclough has an overall record of 0-1 against other members of that team. Maldonado has a 5-inch reach advantage. Fairclough does have one backer in Harry, but the rest are going to Maldonado. I believe that is the case there as far as he's undefeated on Pride FC. Yes, that was his first loss in Pride FC. Was to Ron Fairclough. Got caught in a leg lock. Then he lost to Anderson Silva. But looking to avenge that loss here today with a major win. Could potentially get a major win. Well, Fabio. And Ron Fairclough, though, interesting that he's kind of sitting in this spot in his career. Because right now it's on a 2-fight losing streak to both Shogun and Forrest Griffin. So those 2 guys are fucking super talented. But he did beat Rampage and Fabio before those fights, so it's not like he's been, coasting on some bums. Like, he's fought some very, very tough opponents in the middleweight division. Let's see, he's fought 3 middleweight champions in Anderson Silva. Or actually 4. Might be extra, 4. In Frank Shamrock, Anderson Silva, and Murillo. And he's beaten 3 of them. So that's, he's fought both, Shogun and Ninja. So, fought 4, lost to 3 of them, but he did beat Frank Shamrock, so there is that. But that's kind of crazy to think about, as far as when you face off against 4 champions like that. That is pretty nuts. Him and Rampage should have a trilogy, though. That'd be fun in the future. That'd definitely be a fun fight to see. I'm super excited to see how that fight plays out, because definitely stylistically they're very, very different. Even though Fabio has a jiu-jitsu background, he likes to stand up and use his boxing more so than anything. Should be a fun fight. Should be. As the Silent Assassin, Luke Como versus George Rush St. Pierre. Both are world-ranked middleweights, even though obviously they fight at welterweight. St. Pierre 5th, Como 13th. St. Pierre has won 4 of his last 5 fights by decision. Luke Como has won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision. As this is the first time they have fought. St. Pierre, the heavy favorite. Not surprised at all by that. Luke Como is 2-0 though, but this is the first time he's taken on like a top 10 guy. And the Mike Pyle fight, it was an average one, but it's like, all right, you probably should have won that fight. But the John Fitch one, the way he kind of dominated John Fitch was pretty interesting, because obviously John Fitch, usually you're either going to get dominated or you're going to dominate him, and He stuffed a lot of his takedowns, which was interesting. Obviously, that's how you're going to beat John Fitch. If you stuff his takedowns, you're going to win. But it's going to be a tough fight for him for sure, because George is quite talented. But it's crazy to think George is 11-5 in Pride FC. Just lost to John Alessio, which he's lost to him twice now. This would be a major victory for him, and he's really got to hope Damian Maia can get a win, because that will help him out in the long run, as far as MMA math would dictate, that he's got a good chance to beating Damian Maia compared to John Alessio when he's lost twice to him now. This is a big fight, though. Big fight for sure. It's crazy. Dennis Hallman, he fought twice, couldn't beat him. The Luis Santos fight, he couldn't beat him. It'd be interesting to see the Luis Santos rematch. I know Luis has kind of went downhill as of late, but I really do think that'd be a fun rematch. It's crazy. 29 years old. Obviously, we're still in the prime of George St. Pierre's career here. Clay the Carpenter Guida versus Joe Daddy Stevenson. Clay Guida finished 3 of his last 5 opponents here, as Joe Stevenson is the 14th ranked lightweight in Pride FC. Clay Guida is 21st here. Joe Stevenson is the heavy favorite, 7-0, which makes sense on the broadcast staff picks. Clay Guida, though, 11-1, 7-1 in Pride FC. Just only lost to Leonardo Santos. This is a big-time fight, though. Joe Stevenson, here's a guy that is 14th, so a top 15 guy, but a guy that has been in Pride FC lightweight title fights, has been a UFC lightweight champion, but obviously this back half of the decade has not been too kind to Joe Stevenson, only beating Gilbert Melendez and Tetsuya Kato, losing to Mitsuya Ishida, Uriah Faber, Jackie Manson, which that was a split decision loss, BJ Penn, Toby Mata, as let's see, that's 2 lightweight champions, and then Jackie Manson and Uriah Faber has fought for the lightweight title, and Uriah Faber probably should have won the first time around in his lightweight title fight, but he's getting a rematch here shortly to see if maybe potentially he'll get some better luck next time by the judges. But that's going to be an interesting fight, though. I think stylistically they match up pretty well, and should be a fun one. I don't know why Fedor doesn't have a picture, but Eldoro, Pete Williams, taking on the last Emperor, Fedor Emelianenko. Pete hasn't won since May of 2008. That is pretty crazy to think, but again, another guy that was a mainstay in the UFC heavyweight division, and then obviously here in this mod, he's been in the Pride FC heavyweight division, but was really a mainstay in the UFC heavyweight division, really in the early 2000s. Now, in the back half of the decade, not looking too kind. Lost to Sergey, which Sergey's a savage. Lost to Josh Barnett, another guy that's a savage, and even Macaulay Avistian's a savage as well. Would love to see him take on somebody that's not a savage, to be honest, but that's just not Pete Williams' way. That's not his MO. He's 35. He's definitely not in his prime anymore. But it just takes one head kick. That's all it takes. But Fedor, can we change his picture right here? Because that would be great. Oh, we can. Perfect. I don't know why Fedor's picture got changed, but there we go. Obviously not the same Fedor that happened in real life as that record, 14-8. So crazy. We thought we were. We thought we were getting the run of Fedor's heavyweight run, and he got screwed in Brazil and just went downhill. He's on a 2-fight win streak, though. You never know. If he makes it 3 in a row here, he might be able to salvage something out of this. But yeah, just Fedor's the heavy favorite, and that makes sense from that perspective. Seth Silverback Petrozelli versus Hightower Simi Shalette. This is insane. First of all, Petrozelli's finished 4 of his last 5. They're both world-ranked super heavyweights. Simi Shalette has significant weight advantage. He's got an 11-inch reach advantage, and he's still not the favorite. It's still the Seth Petrozelli. He's only lost to Roy Nelson. Right, yeah. His only loss was to Roy Nelson. Crazy. When you think of the kind of the talent he has faced, and now he's up there against Simi Shalette. But first of all, what an exciting fighter. So looking at the ratings there. Most of them by knockout. This is going to rule. This is going to be a great way to kick off the show. Still 30 years old, too, Seth, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, Hightower, Simi Shalette hasn't been too kind to him since his return after being in the UFC. As far as, it's crazy to think, he was beating Pedro Hizzo and Andrei Arlovsky, and it's like, man, and we just could not tie him down to a contract, unfortunately. Comes back, gets a heavyweight fight at Shockwave, loses. That fight against Fedor ruled. It was awesome to see him and Krokop. That Macaulay Avistian fight also ruled. He's had some great fights as well. This is going to be awesome. this is going to be a lot of fun. This could have main evented a worldwide taping, honestly, and I'd still been cool with it just because of how exciting this fight's going to be. Super excited to see how that one plays out. But Joe Hurley and Jim Miller, two guys that haven't won since 2007. Someone might finally get a win here, unless it's a draw. Jim Miller is the slight favorite, looks like. 0-1, that's crazy. We only had Jim Miller have one fight this entire time from once we signed him to... That's unfortunate. That's kind of a bad thing about how big this division got as far as the lightweight division, and then like we added so many divisions and we couldn't really... Having 2 shows per month is fine, but we should have had more probably by the time the back half of the decades were happening. Just is what it is. But Joe Hurley, though, 18-8-1, 3-4. It's on a 4-fight losing streak. Not great. As far as been knocked out by Clay Guida, been submitted by Cristiano Marciello, lost to Ramiro Sato, who was obviously now a lightweight champion. It's just crazy to think he was 18-4-1, had just beat Jens Pulvers. Like, oh, this guy's going to dominate this lightweight division. Then all of a sudden, just goes downhill. I think giving him this one last fight here makes a lot of sense. It's crazy that he's not the favorite, though. But it is what it is. I still would... I wouldn't mind backing Joe Hurley. I'd like to see the betting odds for that fight. Then Dan Miller, taking on Luke Rockhold. As Dan hasn't won since September of 2008. I'm assuming that's the last time he fought. But significant weight advantage for Luke Rockhold, but he's still the underdog. Dan Miller is the favorite. Yeah, he's 0-1, so yeah, same thing. Lost to Nobuhiro Obaya back in Worldwide 28, and that was in May of 2009. Again, crazy. He's only had one fight, and we probably signed him probably after that UFC show. So we had him from basically September, or we'll just say October 2008, and we only had 2 fights so far for him. Tough break. But this could be a massive win for him if he does beat Luke Rockhold. I really don't think he's going to beat him. Luke Rockhold has been on a tear, just winning by rear naked chokes and he had the Ron Blue choke against Melvin Manhoef. I think this is going to be an easy win for him, honestly. I really do. I'm surprised Dan Miller's such a heavy favorite. We'll see how this fight plays out, though. Maybe I'm in the minority here. I'm assuming I would be, since he's such a heavy favorite from the Blurcat staff picks. I really do think Luke Rockhold is someone that you should not overlook in this fight. It's pretty close, though. Minus 250 for Dan Miller, plus 190 for Luke Rockhold. Yamasaki's the referee, ringside judges. Dan Miller gets a roar from the crowd. He enters from around here. Here we go. They touch gloves. Dan Miller looking for the takedown. He's got it. It's a single leg. So let's see what Dan Miller can do up on top. Gets pulled into a couple of short punches to the side of the head by Luke Rockhold on the bottom. And Luke Rockhold trying to go for a double underhook. Again, he's still trying to... He's doing a lot from the bottom, which is interesting to see. He's trying to pass now. Can't get past it. Luke Rockhold doing a very good job on the bottom. And there's got double underhook. And they stand him up. Luke Rockhold preparing to throw here. Looks like we're going to see a shot from Miller, but again, Luke Rockhold is the aggressor. There's a punch, but is avoided, and Dan Miller looking for another takedown. Gets pushed up against the ropes, smothering him now. Looking for a trip. It's no answer on the slick trip there. And Dan Miller's been dominating as far as grappling-wise, but once it gets to the ground, Luke Rockhold's been doing a very good job as far as having better jiu-jitsu than him and able to kind of keep him in check. Yamasaki's going to stand him up again at another takedown attempt. That goes awry, but it's going to be up against the ropes and another trip takedown potentially. Oh, no. Oh, Luke Rockhold's in control. Never mind. That's what I get as happened right here. Got him up against the ropes, but couldn't get him down. At least Luke Rockhold did something there at the end to try to get a takedown. I wouldn't say it's over, but definitely one-sided. I did not expect that to be so one-sided. As Rockhold moves in, look at the clinch. There's a knee strike to the body. Got him against the ropes. Still can't trip him down. There we go. Excellent. Like trip sweeps him down. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Whoa. Wait a minute. That's crazy. I thought it was, Oh, Miller was the one who got him. Okay, never mind. Holy shit. As Dan Miller keeps him guessing a few quick strikes now. This is a great round for Dan Miller. As now looking for the arm triangle. That gets blocked. Yamasaki's going to stand him up. Dan Miller looking for another takedown, not happening. But he gets the trip anyways. Wow. completely one-sided. Shout out Dan Miller. A bit of a boring affair, but he's going to win in a dominating fashion, too, nonetheless. Well, there's a nice little sprawl from Luke Rockhold. Went for the soccer kick, but Dan Miller's already back up. They get into a clinch. Miller looking for another trip takedown. That doesn't happen. Rockhold gets him up against the ropes. He sweeps him down. So Luke Rockhold finally gets a takedown. Might be a little too late to have anything happen here. As Dan Miller looking for an armbar from the bottom. Not happening, though. Looking for it again. Some elbows now. Luke Rockhold trying to get on top of him. It's a scramble. That's the end of the round. It's a good round for Luke Rockhold. You get to hang your head out, hanging your head out up high, knowing that you weren't completely dominated for the entire fight, but just by the time the third round came, he didn't have anything left to really sway it to go his way. But Dan Miller getting the win, 8-2. Luke Rockhold with his first loss. It's a great win for Dan Miller. We'll see if his brother Jim has the same success here today, as he praises Luke Rockhold as praises his toughness, has a lot of respect for him. As our last prelim fight, Joe Hurley, Jim Miller. He is the heavy favorite, minus 360 here. That's pretty crazy to think, because Joe Hurley's fought some very, very tough guys compared to Jim Miller, who's only had one fight in Pride FC. Herb Dean's the referee, ringside judges roar from the crowd as Jim Miller enters. Hurley comes in looking to strike. Miller looking to get in close, but Hurley throws a bunch of Miller's equal to it. Miller gets a hold of him now, looking for a sweep. It's an excellent outside leg trip. So Jim Miller basically doing the same thing that Dan Miller did. Look for a Darce choke here. That would have been sick. Looking for it again. Hurley stops it again. Looking for the arm triangle. At least Jim's throwing a lot of submissions at him. Looking for Kimura. That also gets stopped. And Herb Dean's going to stand him up with about 4:30 left in the round. Miller with another takedown. 2 for 2 on takedowns. Looking for a leg lock. Not happening. He's not going to probably submit Joe Hurley, but he's going to keep him on his toes with all these submissions. That's for sure. Keeps throwing small strikes. Keeping very tight to the body. Herb Dean's going to stand up again with about a minute left. 2 defensive jabs hit from Miller. None of them have any degree of power. Miller with a third sweep. My God. So yeah, Joe Hurley's fucked. There's nothing more you can say here. Just he is fucked. Round 2 begins. Another takedown attempt potentially. Oh, there's a left jab. And dodges the leg kick, though. Joe Hurley's slowing down. That's not a good sign. 2-punch combination. Jim Miller avoids both of them. Grabs him into a clinch. Got him with a takedown here as well. Looking for the Darce choke. Again, can't tap him out. Von Flue choke. Not happening. He's throwing out some Darce chokes, some Kimuras. As far as we just saw. And seeing Americana here. Seeing, just so many. A Von Flue choke. He's done it all, seems like. Arm triangles. Still hasn't tapped him out. There's a nice straight right hand, though, from Joe Hurley. But Jim Miller, going right for the takedown, looking for the leg lock to end out the second, but again, that's not happening. Jim Miller, just complete dominating Joe Hurley here. 1-2 from Hurley, doesn't land. Miller quickly shoots on him. Oh, there's a great sprawl from Hurley. A little fatigued now, just starting to lower the hands. There's 1-2, doesn't hit either below, though. Miller sees a chance to grapple with him, looking for the leg sweep. No answer for it. And he's got his back. He's trying to get the body triangle here. Looking for just a rear naked choke without getting it. Not happening, though. Probably won't happen unless he gets both hooks in, but he's fighting it off. Wow, Herb Dean's going to stand him up. I can't believe that. Probably should have just kept him down there for the last 40 seconds, but it still was going to be Jim Miller winning no matter what, but we at least would have got a finish. Yeah, tough break. Tough break for Joe Hurley, but the Miller brothers win. Big night for the Miller family, as thanks to everyone connected to the team. Sakurada, all of his very sponsors, all of his friends, family, supporters, has a lot of respect for Joe Hurley, though, and praises his toughness. And now what's potentially going to be the fight of the year. Seth Petrozelli and Hightower Simi Shalette. Fuck yeah, of course, Big John McCarthy's a referee for this one. Ringside judges there is at least 25 pounds on Mr. Simi Shalette. This is going to be crazy. There's a kick to the leg. There's a right hook. He knocks him down. Is he going to finish him here? Holy shit. All it takes is 40 seconds. Imagine knocking out somebody when you're 6'2" and they're 6'11". It's fucking nuts. Seth Petrozelli, what a win. Praise the team at Ado Entertainment. Is very responsive to all of his fans that came out to support him. Unreal. Unreal. Eldoro, Pete Williams taking on the Last Emperor, Fedor Emelianenko. 14-8, 24-12. Submission wrestling. Sambo background, of course, for Fedor. He is the favorite. So far, the favorites have been dominating tonight. We'll see if that continues here. Yamasaki's the referee. Ringside judges here. We are underway. Fedor doesn't touch gloves. Williams is coming in looking to strike. There's a weak left hand from Fedor as he's backing away. Great head movement here to get it to takedown potentially, but he just gets him up against the ropes here. Looking for a suplex. He's got him on the suplex. Now looking to scramble. Not enough separation though, as there's Fedor securing side control. Just a knee strike just above the hip. Some knees of the ribs. Boy, just these one-sided affairs. It's pretty interesting because most of these fights are pretty close on the betting lines, but just it has not been the case so far. It's Pete Williams coming forward on the attack. Pair of jabs. There we go, Pete Williams. Then catches him with a right hook. Here we go. He's coming back here. There's a great right hook from Fedor. There's a right head kick from Pete Williams. He knocks him out cold. Just like that. Eldoro back in it with a big win. 25th win of his career. Massive win. Fedor Emelianenko. What the fuck, man? He just keeps on getting caught at the worst time. Awesome, though. Head kick. Love it. Love it. It's still with Lions Den, as old Pete Williams here. Gives a name check there when that Lions Den is very responsive to all of his friends, family, supporters. So he's very happy with the finish. And he knows that that was a fight ender once he landed it. I bet. That motherfucker can knock you out in an instant. As Clay, the Carpenter Guida, taking on Joe Daddy Stevenson. Plus 200, the underdog for Clay Guida. Minus 260 for Joe Stevenson. This is going to be a very interesting fight, though. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background for Joe Stevenson. Wrestling background, of course, for Clay Guida. They both can stand up a little bit, but definitely their bread and butter is definitely on the ground. But we saw what happened with Clay Guida in his last fight. Got him up against the ropes and fucking elbowed him into smithereens. Might do the same thing here for Joe Stevenson, but he's fired up, though. As the introductions are being conducted here. Stevenson working his way into a down position in the grapple here, looking for the sweep. It's a great sweep. Drops him down. In close, hits a couple of short, sharp punches to the side of the head. Does a few strikes. Clearly slowing things down now. As it close body-to-body contact here. Just doing a good job not giving him a whole lot of room to work with. As Guida's throwing some punches from the bottom. Not really doing a whole lot. Trying to pass guard, get side control. There's a scramble now. Guida's trying to get up, but he's up first. He's only to be grabbed in the waist lock here. So let's see what Guida does. Oh, he's got him down. Oh, he's got him on his back. Can't get the body triangle. If he hooks this... Oh my god, he's got both hooks in. That's all she wrote. Unreal. Clay Guida. What a win. 12-1. Unreal. What a run that Clay Guida's been on. This has been fantastic. Unreal. What a win. Like, I'm just stunned by that, to be honest. Like, he just made short work with him. Once he had the waist lock, it was all over. He slammed him down, got both hooks in. All she wrote for Joe Stevenson. What a win for Clay Guida, though, as he gives it praises his team at Team Quest. All of his very responsible. All of the fans came and support him. Says that he has a lot of respect for Joe Stevenson. Praises his toughness, though. As he's good in these interviews. Knows how to sell himself, that's for sure. And it's the Silent Assassin, Luke Como, taking on George Rush St. Pierre. Our fight before the co-main event here. Well, at least somewhat of a hometown favorite in Luke Como, Long Island, New York. Just a stone throw away from New Jersey. Herb Dean, our referee, ringside judges. Opening bell here. They touch gloves. Come together in an over-under position. St. Pierre's the aggressor, trying to get him against the ropes. He does so. But Luke Como reverses it. See what he can do. Looking for the takedown. Not happening, though. Still trapped against the ropes. St. Pierre might get taken down here. He does. It's a great takedown from Luke Como. See what St. Pierre does on the bottom. Looking to pass. It's a scramble. As, wow, St. Pierre ends up grabbing Luke Como and shoving him against the ropes. Looking for a takedown of his own. Not happening, though. And now Luke Como's got control again. Looking for another takedown. And he's got him back down. Luke Como doing a tremendous job. So far, he might make this 18-3 the way this fight's going. He's looking to pass. He passes side control, doesn't have much time to secure it. As now Scramble sees St. Pierre up first, and he's quick to wrestle Kuma up against the ropes. St. Pierre has gotten under hooks now. He's looking to take Luke Kuma to the ground. Oh, wow. What a great Greco-Roman slam there, as now St. Pierre knees of the ribs. Great job here. Handful of punches. Each is being blocked with gloves. Trying to move the guard. Still with the knees of the ribs. This has been a great round for both guys, to be honest. This is going to be an interesting one. I'd like to see the metrics of this fight here in this first round, because that was pretty back and forth. Slight edge, I would say, to Luke Como. He did a little bit more on the ground, did a little bit more, so had one more takedown, a couple more jabs. Very close, though. I say it comes out in the second round to see who's going to win this fight. Confidently comes in. Oh, he catches him with the right hook. That's a great jab. And a great right hook from St. Pierre. Looking to clinch up with him now. Got him up against the ropes. If he takes him down here, that's massive. Massive takedown off the double underhooks. Looking for the scramble. St. Pierre's too quick, though. Right back in side control. Again with the ribs. Tremendous round from St. Pierre. He desperately needed this round. Now a knee just above the hip. I'm surprised. Oh, now some more elbows. Surprised he didn't stand him up there in the second. But that was a great round from St. Pierre. It's his fight to lose here in the third. Looking for another takedown. That's all he needs is one takedown here, and that's probably all she wrote. Great Greco-Roman slam. If he just lays and prays his way to victory, which looks like he's going to do. I kind of hate that, but at the same time, at least he secured the fight. He wasn't doing it the entire fight. He was trying to at least finish it in the first. He was at least trying to in the second as well. But Herbine finally going to stand him up. Brilliant sprawl from Luke Como. Oh, wow. As Luke Como's got his back. That's a great job by Luke Como here. Fucking him up at the end of the fight. That was an interesting round. Because, man, if that would have kept on going, Luke Como obviously would have won that round. The way that fight was going. See what the judges think. Giving it to St. Pierre. I think that was the right decision, but that would be a great fight to see down the road, because that was a pretty back and forth affair. And we rarely see that, especially with that 10-minute round. You know, you kind of get that one. You should win the rest of the fight, but that was not what happened there. St. Pierre probably lost that first round. Came out great in the second. Had a great third round as well, but Luke Como there at the end about stole it from him. That was really, really good. So praises, thanks everyone connected to the Canadian Martial Arts Center for helping him prepare for the fight, a sponsor for supporting him financially. So this was a tough fight and gives a show of respect to his opponent, Luke Como, but he knows how to use these interviews to sell himself as our co-main event. You know, here's the thing with these fights, when you take it on short notice, a lot of guys, they praise the guy who's taking that fight on short notice, but it's also a two-way street with that. Now Ron Fairclough, he's been preparing for Chuck Liddell's got to switch to now preparing for Fabio Maldonado. Completely changes the whole game plan of everything. But both guys, 22-9 exactly. Hybrid fighting. So it's from Wisconsin, that's right. It's like, is Iowa or Wisconsin? One of the two. But yeah, Wisconsin, 5'9", 205. Ron Fairclough, 6'2", 205. Can Fabio avenge that loss? Or will Ron Fairclough pull off another win? Here tonight, we shall see. Yamasaki's referee, ringside judges. Here we go, round one begins. They close the distance. There's a jab and a right hook. Preparing to throw. Looking to step in and grapple. Simply took the initiative. Did Maldonado here, as he can't connect the strikes, but he hits him with the right to the side of the ribs here. Is Maldonado still the aggressor? There's a left jab and a straight right that lands hard. Left hand, but Fairclough avoiding the big right here. Boy, he's fucking him up here. Maldonado stepping in. Fails to find home his jab. Hits him with the beauty of a straight right. There's some slithering kicks to the legs now. Lands two left hands, doesn't hit the leg kick that follows up though. Jab is wide, scores the right to the ribs, can't hit the up. Jab, nice straight right hand that lands hard. There's a jab and a right cross that lands hard. Acknowledging some corner instructions here. Comes in, grabs Maldonado in the clinch, attempts to wrestle Maldonado. Not happening though. It's a great takedown defense. Doesn't stop that one though. Great sweep. Looking for the leg lock. Managing with the one right there. Looking for it again. Stops again. Third time's a charm. Now Maldonado keeps the guard tight, but he gets it the fourth time. Unreal. Ron Fairclough just keeps on winning these fucking leg locks. Oh, Maldonado's got to be pissed. That's exactly why he took this fight on short notice, to avenge that loss. He's the heavy favorite. He still loses to a fucking leg lock. Tough break. Tough break. Ron Fairclough, he's a goddamn wizard in there. You don't know how he does it, but he just always pulls it off. And he wants to fight Anderson Silva next. Good luck with that, sir. Because you're not going to pull off that leg lock bullshit against him. As our main event, welterweight contest, Damian Maia, the natural John Alessio for the welterweight title. Will Damian Maia be a two-time champion, or will John Alessio keep this run going? He is the underdog. But, I mean, we just saw in that co-main event a fucking plus 400. Well, actually, a minus 400 favorite just lost, rather. So we'll see what happens here for this main event. I think it's going to be super close. It's always this between these two. Big John McCarthy's referee. We saw Damian Maia beat him last time, and we just saw in our previous fight. The guy who won last time beats him again in the rematch. So we are underway. They wrestle up here as Alessio's the aggressor. Got him against the ropes. Oh, well, look at Damian Maia fighting it off. Got him against the ropes here. Now Alessio turns him around. Now he's back in control. Gets the takedown. Great job here from John Alessio so far. He gets half guard as Damian Maia. Alessio just, again, throwing some punches. Quick scramble. Not enough separation. That was John Alessio's back inside control. Looking to catch his breath. Handful of punches now. Each easy being blocked with gloves. Blocks his bull guard. Big John McCarthy stands him up. There's a nice 1-2 here. Jabbing a right cross from Alessio. There's a cut underneath the eye. Can't connect the step strikes. Hits him with a nice straight right hand. Maia gets hold of him. Looking for the judo throw. It's a great stop there. That could have really changed the momentum of this one. Looking for it again. He's got it this time around. Some minor strikes here. 60 seconds left. Let's see what Damian Maia can do. Not really a whole lot in 60 seconds, but what a great back and forth that was. At least Maia got something going. Again, much like what we saw from George Rush St. Pierre. If you get something going at the end of the first, it gives you a little bit momentum going into your second round. You hope to get something going, but Maia did get cut. I would definitely say Alessio won that first round. See what happens in the second. This is a 1-2, doesn't land either blow though, and Damian Maia's coming in fast, clinching with him. Got him up against the ropes. Well, John Alessio fights it off. Never mind, looking for the judo throw. Can't get him down though. Got him against the ropes again. Alessio fights it off again. Knee strike to the body. Looking for the takedown. Great takedown. Slams him down. Got his back. Looking for the rear naked choke. If he gets the hooks in, that's probably all she wrote. Oh boy. He's got it. Body to right. Oh boy, that's all she wrote. Yeah, John Alessio wins by submission in the second round. What a great rematch win for John Alessio. 25th win of his career as well. Massive victory for John Alessio. I thought that fight should have been rated a little bit more higher, but that's just me. See, thanks to having connected Greg Jackson's Mixed Martial Arts for having them prepare for the fight, and also supporting, also a sponsor for supporting him financially. As John Alessio is the Pride Welterweight champion still. He's got around his weight, celebrates defending it successfully. And you know, George Rush St. Pierre was grinning in ear to ear seeing that victory there. Very happy to see how that card played out. I thought it's exactly how I wanted this card to go. Exciting first round finishes. Love it. Absolutely loved it. The prelims sucked, but that's fine. We'll take the prelims sucking over that any day of the week. Definitely performance bonus for John Alessio, for Faircloth, for St. Pierre for coming back like that, for Clay Guida for his win, for Pete Williams for knocking out Fedor, and even Petrozelli for his win. Yeah, that's a lot of money we're dishing out. We're definitely losing our ass this one. Oh no, we still made $5 million. That's crazy. God damn, we made $6 million at the gate and another about $7 million on ads. Wow. 3 guys made over $1 million. Ron Faircloth made $2 million. Jesus Christ. What a day. What a great time to be a fighter. This is exactly what the guys should be getting paid for having performances like that. That was awesome. As, yeah, 160 in the books. What an episode that was of American Bushido. Our last one, and now we're going to go to one of our last worldwide tapings. We just have 2 more left. As this should be a fun main event, though. I'm excited to see how that fight. You know, the lightweight main events are always fun, because you never really know what to expect. They can kind of do it all. Might go the distance, might get finished, might get, as far as might be a submission, might be a knockout. Really don't know. But yes, we will catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.